I'm about to say something that's going to piss you off, but sometimes being pissed off is the thing we need the most. You are not where you want to be financially, and it's your fault. Not the economy, not your boss, not your circumstances, it's you. Specifically, your addiction to feeling good. You're addicted to comfort the same way people are addicted to drugs, except your drug is avoidance. Your drug is I'll start on Monday. Your drug is Netflix and scrolling and sleeping in and calling it self-care. And just like any addiction, it's destroying your life slowly, silently, expensively. You want to know why some people explode financially while you stay stuck? They're not any smarter than you. They're just more uncomfortable than you. They do the things you won't do. They have the conversations you avoid. They show up when you hit snooze. Every single day, you make a choice, growth or comfort. And every single day, you choose comfort. That choice has cost you more money than you'll ever know. But today, I want that to stop. I'm going to show you what the price you're paying in by choosing comfort. And I promise you, when you see the number, you'll never look at easy the same way again. Now, for those of you still here, that's a great sign. That tells me you're not looking for another feel-good video because you're not doing great, and deep down, you already know that. What I'm going to show you in this video is the exact framework for how comfort destroys wealth and how the most successful people on the planet have engineered their lives to make discomfort their default setting. And I'm going to break down the 5 comfort traps that are silently killing your potential. And I'm going to give you the blueprint to escape them. The same blueprint I use with my highest level clients. But fair warning, this isn't going to feel good. It's going to be uncomfortable. Transformation always is. There's a tax no one talks about. It's not the federal, it's not the state, and the IRS isn't collecting it, but it's costing you more than all of them combined. I call it the comfort tax, and you're paying it in full, and that payment is suffering. Here's how it works. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you pay. Every time you avoid the hard conversation, you pay. Every time you hit snooze, scroll on social media, instead of creating, you're settling for just good enough, you pay the price dearly. And the payments aren't small, they're compounding every day, over and over and over again, and they're costing you a fortune. Let me put this in real terms. Let's say you have an idea that could add an extra $300,000 to your business in the first quarter, but you don't act on it because it feels uncomfortable. What if it doesn't happen? Maybe you'd have to put yourself on the hook and put yourself out there. Maybe you'd have to get so much better at selling. Maybe you have to risk looking stupid that you might fail, so you don't do it. That's the price you're paying by staying comfortable, never giving yourself a chance. Why do people have such great ideas but never step out and act on it? I'll tell you why. Because they're afraid to lose. Every opportunity you let pass, every conversation you didn't have because it felt uncomfortable, suddenly you're not talking about the $300,000 you increasing in the first quarter. You're talking about millions compounded over time that you're costing yourself. And understand this, we always pay the price in full. We either pay the price in regret or pay the price in the reward. Let me ask you something. How many ideas have you had this year that you didn't act on? How many times did you know exactly what you needed to do, but didn't do it because it felt uncomfortable? Because there were no guarantees. That gap is between knowing and doing is where your millions are lost. You didn't lose them to the market. You didn't lose them to bad luck. You didn't lose them to the economy. You lost them to your addiction to your old self, your addiction to comfort, your addiction for being the same. Everybody I work with, they all want big things, and I know you want big things. But people are wanting big things without changing. It will never happen. Now you might be thinking, but Arash, I need rest. I need balance. Let me give you a hard truth. Balance is bullshit. That's exactly the lie I'm going to expose next. And it's probably going to make you upset and angry. Let me tell you about the most expensive lie ever sold to ambitious people. You need more balance. No. You need an obsession. You don't need more balance. Here's the truth nobody wants to say. Balance is for people who've already built something. You're not there yet. You don't get to operate like a world-class performer when you haven't built the ideas. the actions, the habits, the identities, the standards of a world-class performer. You don't get to take summers off when you haven't earned summers off. You don't get to protect your peace when your bank account is at war. The people selling you balance are the people who are creating exactly what you're creating. They're either struggling, they're just getting by, or they're wanting you to do what they're doing. It's an excuse to stay the same as them. Which one are you listening to? Balance is the single best way to negotiate with yourself. It is not a strategy, and it is not a winning formula. And if you're trying to balance a life you haven't built yet, you're just balancing mediocrity. Let me be clear. I'm not saying never rest. I'm not saying burn yourself into the ground. I'm saying go all in for the next 24 months so you create a world-class life for yourself. And most of you are trying to settle during the time you have to put your foot on the gas. Your bank account is telling you the truth. Results always tell us the truth. Your dreams are telling you it's time to take yourself on and show yourself what you're capable of. Your future self is fighting for you to live the life of your dreams. And you're over here talking about safety, comfort, and balance. When I was building my business, people told me that I was working too hard. I just laughed. That I needed to slow down. Laughed again. That I was going to burn out. Burnout is not a part of my vocabulary. You know what I told them? I'll rest when I've earned it. And I meant it. Because I know in everything I've ever accomplished that I had to pay the price in full. Because I understood something they didn't. Temporary discomfort creates permanent freedom. And freedom is my word. I fell in love with that idea of freedom. And it created so many amazing experiences that I had to pay the price in building the habits, the standards, the disciplines, the identity. But I had to really stretch, because I'm going to tell you, when you stretch, you never come back to your original state. But permanent comfort, that creates permanent suffering. That creates permanent struggle. You want balance? Earn it. You want rest? Build something worth resting from. Until then, our job is to be uncomfortable. Now here's where it gets really uncomfortable, because there's a reason you keep choosing comfort. You're addicted to your old self, and it has nothing to do with being tired. You don't have a discipline problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You don't have a capability problem. You have an addiction problem, and that addiction is to your old self. You're wanting to create extraordinary results, but you're not wanting to change. And here's what nobody tells you about comfort. It's neurologically addictive. Every time you avoid something hard, your brain releases a little hit of relief, and that relief feels like a reward. So your brain learns, avoid hard things, feel good, do that enough times, and you've wired yourself to be average. And average sucks. This is why you procrastinate. This is why you scroll. This is why you distract yourself from the thing you need to do the most. And this is why you know what to do, but you're not doing it. Your brain has been trained to choose short-term comfort over long-term success. And the worst part, you don't even know it. It's invisible. You don't feel like you're comfortable, but that's exactly what the results are telling you. You feel like you're being responsible, you're being reasonable, you're taking care of yourself, but you're not taking care of yourself. You are sabotaging yourself. You are taking care of being exactly who you've always been. The you that's scrolling Instagram isn't the real you. The you that hits snooze isn't the real you. The you that says, I'll do it, but you don't follow through isn't the real you. That's the old you that you have been training yourself for years to continue to be. And every time you listen to it, you are reinforcing the old programming. Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. Who is running your life? The person you want to be, or the person you've always been? Because safety and success are not the same thing. Your brain wants safety. Your soul wants success. And right now, your brain is winning. Our soul is for perpetual growth. What does that mean? That means we are programmed so deeply inside of us at the DNA level to get better every day. But why don't people get better? Because they don't let themselves get better. They don't accept the idea of getting better, and they settle for mediocrity. And that's the number one reason why 98% of the population is struggling. I see this with my clients all the time when they come to me. They tell me, Arash, I want to 10x my life. I want to 10x my business. And you know the first thing I tell them? You can do that. Then they'll tell me they're ready to do whatever it takes. Then I give them the first uncomfortable action to take, and suddenly they're too busy. Something came up. They need to think about it. That's not thinking. That's their old addiction. That's their old self leading them. And that is going to keep them frustrated for literally decades. And until you recognize this pattern, you're going to keep paying the price, and that price is going to be suffering. So now the question is, how do you break the addiction of being your old self? That's exactly what I'm going to show you. But first, I need you to understand the one thing that makes comfort so deadly. Let me stop here for a second. If this video is landing, if something is clicking, I need you to do something real quick for me. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to share is the actual playbook for breaking this cycle. This is what I use with my private clients to reprogram their relationship with discomfort. And if you want to go even deeper, I put together a free playbook that walks you through this entire framework step by step. The link is in the description below. Go grab it. Now let's keep going, because this next part is going to change everything for you. Here's what makes comfort truly deadly. It compounds. Every comfortable decision you make doesn't just cost you once, it's going to cost you over and over and over again. When you avoid a hard conversation today, you don't just lose today, you lose the month of momentum that conversation would have created. When you skip the workout today, you don't just lose today, you lose the discipline that workout would have reinforced. When you don't make the sales call today, you don't just lose today, you lose the relationship that call would have started. Comfort doesn't just steal your today, it steals your compounding interest. Here's what makes comfort truly deadly. It compounds. Think about money for a second. If I offered you $1 million right now, or a penny doubled every day for 30 days, which would you take? Most people take the million, but the penny, that turns into over $5 million. That's the power of compounding interest. I want you to think about your choices. Every time you choose comfort, you're costing yourself millions. You're choosing the easy payout today and giving up the exponential growth of tomorrow. You are costing yourself the potential you have inside of you. You have so much power. You have access to anything you want. But every time you choose discomfort, you're choosing the penny. It doesn't feel like much right now, but it compounds into something truly unstoppable. This is why small decisions matter so much. It's the little things compounded over time that create the big results. Hitting snooze one day doesn't feel like a big deal, but it is. Because you're not just losing 10 minutes of sleep, you're voting for the identity of someone who negotiates with themselves. And that identity, that's going to make 1,000 more decisions this year. Decisions that compound into your income, your health, your relationships, and your entire life. I'll tell you something I do every single day before I make any decision, especially a small one. I ask myself, is this decision coming from my future self, coming from my goal, what I want the most, or is it coming from comfort? Is it coming from who I've always been? Wealth responds to decisions more than anything else. And if you want to create $1 million or more a year income, you've got to start making great decisions. Once you start becoming a great decision maker, everything else is going to follow that. Now let me show you exactly how to flip the script. How to make discomfort your default setting. Winners don't resist comfort. They come from discomfort in everything they do. They engineer their life so comfort isn't even an option. Let me show you how. The first step, kill the negotiation. Remember what I said earlier. Every negotiation with yourself is a loss. So remove the negotiation entirely. Don't ask yourself, should I wake up early? Decide once, then it's not a question. Don't ask yourself, should I work out? Decide once, then it's automatic. The goal isn't to have more willpower. The goal is to need less willpower. Design your environment so the right choice is the only choice. The second step, schedule your discomfort. Here's what most people do. They wait until they feel ready to do hard things. I want you to have an attitude that I do hard things in a great way. Because the other way is just backwards. You have to schedule discomfort like your scheduled meeting. Put the hard call on the calendar. Put the difficult conversation on the calendar. Put the challenging workout on the calendar. If it's not scheduled, your brain will find a way to avoid it. Step 3, make comfort harder than growth. This is advanced, but it is powerful. Most people make growth hard and comfort easy. Flip it. Delete the apps that make scrolling easy. Remove the snacks that make eating junk easy. Leave the environment that no longer serves you. Make the comfortable choice the inconvenient choice. Suddenly, discomfort becomes the path of least resistance. Now, the final step, stack your identity evidence. At the end of every day, ask yourself, what did I do today? What did I really do that was uncomfortable? Not what did I accomplish, not how did I feel, but what discomfort did I truly choose? That's the evidence that you're changing, because you're not going to feel different first. You're going to act different first. Then the identity follows. Now, this is how you break the addiction of being your old self. You don't white knuckle your way through it. You don't force yourself. You don't grind. You don't rely on motivation. You engineer an environment where discomfort is the default setting. And then you collect evidence that you're becoming someone who chooses hard over easy. Remember what I said. I want your attitude to be, I do hard things in a great way. Now let me bring this all together and show you what's really possible when you stop paying the price of comfort. The price of comfort takes from you every day. But there's something on the other side. I call it the discomfort reward. Here's what happens when you flip the script. Every hard conversation you have creates trust. Not just trust in others, but trust in yourself. Every early morning you embrace creates discipline. But it's also the discipline that you're showing the world that my dreams matter to me, that I'm valuable. Every fear you face creates confidence. Every opportunity you seize creates momentum, and all of it compounds. But it compounds in your favor now. The comfort price takes millions from you silently. The discomfort reward pays you back exponentially. But you have to invest first. You have to pay the price in discomfort before you collect in results. That's the deal. There's no shortcut. The question isn't, can you afford to be uncomfortable? The question is, can you afford not to be? Because comfort isn't free. You're already paying for it. You're paying in missed opportunities. You're paying in stalled growth. You're paying in a life that's smaller than it should be. So you have a choice. Keep paying the comfort price and wondering why nothing changes, or start investing in discomfort and watch everything in your life change. The life you want is on the other side of the things you don't want to do. It always has been. Now let me bring this home. You clicked on this video thinking comfort was your friend. Now you know the truth. Comfort is the most expensive thing in your life. It's never protecting you, it's robbing you. Every day you stay comfortable is a day you pay the price, and that price is suffering. Every decision you avoid is interest on a debt you'll never pay off. Every time you say, I'll start Monday, is another deposit in the wrong account. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Starting today, starting right now, you can stop paying the price and start paying the reward. One uncomfortable decision at a time, one hard conversation at a time, one early morning at a time will change your life. Your comfort is costing you millions, but your discomfort, that's gonna make you unstoppable. That's gonna create a life of freedom for you. If you're serious about making this shift, if you want the exact framework to engineer discomfort into your life and break the comfort addiction for good, I put together a free playbook that walks you through everything we talked about today, plus the exercises I use with my private clients. The link is in the description. Click it now. I'll see you there.